Good morning. I'm Dr. Wilson Paul, Associate Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship of KCS Kasaragod College of Arts and Science. Now, we'll go to the next chapter in the Management Accounting subject named as Financial Statement Analysis. Okay, it is nothing but a financial statement analysis. What is financial statement, first of all? This is nothing but it refers to a formal and original statement prepared by a business concern to disclose its financial information. Okay, in other words, it is a financial statement is nothing but it is prepared to review the state of investment in a business and results achieved during the specific period. Okay, so that is what is about your financial statements. Then let us see, there are some techniques and tools for financial statement. What are the different techniques and tools for financial statement analysis? There are 6 different tools for testing a financial statement analysis. First one is a comparative financial statement. That is, under that you have 2 subdivisions are there: comparative income statement and comparative balance sheet. Okay. Then second, common size statement. Common size statement also has 2 subdivisions. One is common size income statement and common size balance sheet. Then the third one is trend analysis. Then fourth one is ratio analysis. Fifth one is cash flow statement, and the last one is the fund flow statement. So these are the named as the tools and techniques for analyzing the financial statements. Okay, now we'll do one by one in problematic manner. The first problem we are going to do is the subdivision 1 of the first thing, that is a comparative income statement. The word comparative means we are going to here compare something. We are going to compare one with another. What we are going to do here, when you use the word comparative, means you should have definitely 2 items to compare one with the other. Here we'll have the income statement for last year and current year. Okay, here the question, I'll read the question out for you first. The following are the income statement of G1 Limited for the year ending 31st December 1999 and 1998. You are required to prepare a comparative income statement for the 2 years. Okay, you will be preparing a financial statement for 2 years, comparative statement. Let us see. Here, first net sales is given there, cost of goods sold is given there, operating expenses. Under the heading operating expenses, we have 2 items: administrative expenses, selling expenses. The non-operating expenses as a heading. Under that you have interest and income tax. So this is all about your sum. Let us see the answers for this sum now. The next slide. Now, how to prepare the statement? For preparing the comparative income statement, when you're going to compare, you will prepare so many columns are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are there. Actually, it is nothing but 4 columns. The 4th column will have 2 subdivisions under that. Okay, there are only 4 columns: particulars, 1998, 1999, and increase or decrease in 1999 over the 1998. That is single column. Under that you have 2 subdivisions. Okay, under that you have 2 subdivisions. One is amount difference and percentage. Okay, now the first 3 columns nothing but the sum as it is given in the sum, but I have written in a particular format. Okay, the sum is repeated here, but it is written in a different format. You can see that net sale minus cost of goods sold is your gross profit. From gross profit, I'm going to minus all my expenses, administrative, selling. That is operating expenses first. When I minus that, I get operating profit. I'll get for that. Then I'll again minus the non-operating expense also. Then finally I'll get a net profit. So it is nothing but P&L in a vertical form. The P&L is done in a vertical form. Okay. Now the first 3 columns is nothing but from the repetition of the sum. You have repeated the sum but in a different form. That's it. Now the 4th column, we have two subdivisions over there, amount difference and percentage. Here the amount difference is nothing but you're going to compare the 1998 and 1999 and see what is the difference. In other words, we are going to take 1998 as a base year. Okay, for 1998 my sales was 10 lakh. Now the sales has increased by 12 lakh, increased to 12 lakh in the 1999 next year. So what is the real net increase is only 2 lakh. Okay, what is the percentage of 2 lakh from the 10 lakh? In other words, 2 lakh, the difference amount divided by 10 lakh into 100 will give me 20%. That is the last column. The same thing you repeat for each and every item one by one individually. Okay, nothing is added or subtracted. You are not going to do anything vertically. You do everything in horizontally. Nothing be done vertically. Okay. Now the percentage, everything is done in a vertical way. Just the amount alone you will add and minus. Okay. First, sales minus cost of goods sold will give me gross profit 4,50,000, and for the year 1998. For the year 1999, 5,95,000. Even that, last year I got 4,50,000. This year I got 5,95,000. What is the net increase over there in gross profit? 1,45,000. Again, 1,45,000 divided by 4,50,000 into 100 will give me 32.22. Okay, the gross profit column. I am talking about the gross profit row, not the column, or the horizontal way. Okay, then once I know the gross profit, I'll minus the rest of the expenses, the operating expenses and non-operating expenses one by one. I'll do the operating expenses first. In operating expenses, I have administrative expenses. In the first year, 80,000. The second year, it is increased to 1 lakh, which means there's an increase, net increase of 20,000. Okay, when there's an increase, you write plus. When there's a decrease, you write minus. The difference amount written as minus amount. That's it. Okay. Now 20,000 is the difference for administrative expenses. Then 20,000 divided by last year, that is 80,000. From 80,000 it is increased by 20. Therefore 20,000 by 80,000 into 100 will give me, what is the percentage? 25%. Is it clear? The same way you do for selling as well. 60,000 is gone to 80,000. Okay, what is the increase over there? 20,000. So 20,000 by 60,000 into 100 will give me 33.33. Okay, so I know what is the total expenses for operating. Operating expenses are, the total is 1,40,000, 1,80,000 and 40,000 is the difference. Again, 40,000 by 1,40,000 into 100 will give me what? Plus 28.57%. Okay, then the same way, then I know my operating expenses. I know the gross profit. Gross profit minus my operating expense. That is my total A minus total B. Okay, I have named the total as A and B. So gross profit is A total and operating expense is B total. So A minus B will give me operating total operating profit. Okay, now that is 4,50,000 minus 1,40,000 will give me 3,10,000. The same way for 1999, 5,95,000 minus 1,80,000 will give me 4,15,000. Okay, now now we are going to do in the cross way, that is the horizontal way now. The word, not vertically, horizontally. Last year it was only 3,10,000. Now it has become 4,15,000. What is the increase? 1,05,000. Okay, now again as we did earlier, 1,05,000 by 3,10,000 into 100 will give me 33.87. We are going to comparing. We are comparing and taking the percentage. That's it. Nothing else we are doing new here. We are going to compare it, the difference by the last year into 100. The difference for each and every item. I'm talking about each and every item. The difference you get divided by last year into 100. The difference you get divided by last year into 100. So that is the logic we are going to apply here. So once again, now I found out the operating expenses. Operating profit is there. Then non-operating expenses is given. I make a total for non-operating expenses. I named it as D column, row. Okay. Now my total operating profit minus my non-operating expenses, that is 3,10,000 minus 90,000. Then 4,15,000 minus 1,30,000. Then 1,05,000 minus 40,000 will give me 65. Okay. Then once again, last year my net profit is 2,20,000. Current year my profit is 2,85,000. What is the net increase here? 65,000. Therefore again 65,000 divided by 2,20,000 into 100. Okay, now you would have understood, I believe. Every increase or decrease you divide by last year, 1998. Okay, the decrease or increase amount will be divided by 1998 amount into 100 will give you the percentage. Okay, so this is all about your sum number 1. We'll go to the next sum. That is nothing but your what you did so far is comparative income statement. Now I'm going to do comparative balance sheet sum. Okay, the next sum, next slide here. Sum number 2, Sudesh and Co. furnishes its balance sheet for the year 1999 and 2000 and requests you to prepare a comparative balance sheet for those years. Okay, the balance sheet is given here. And the 2 years given asset and liabilities are 2 years 1999 and 2000. Okay, the various assets and various liabilities are given here. How we are going to do this sum? Okay, in this slide we have only the sum because I don't have enough space to do work out my sum answer for that. So I did in the next slide. We'll go to the next slide now. Okay, here the answer for this is we are going to prepare the comparative balance sheet again. Again the columns are same. The columns are not going to differ. Again, as I said you in the first sum, the first 3 columns is nothing but the repetition of the sum, but in different form, in a specific format. First, I select all the current assets and write them together. Then I write all the fixed assets and write them together. Okay, current asset and fixed assets separately. That's it. Okay, now I compare one by one. I will start from the beginning from inventory. Last year my inventory was 40,000. Current year my inventory is 60,000. So what is the increase from last year when compared to the last year? 20,000. So 20,000 by 40,000 into 100, 50%. The same way you do for debtors. Last year my debtors was 40,000 and current year my debtors is 80,000. How much is the increase now? 40 has become 80. So net term increases 40 plus 40. So plus 40 divided by 40 into 100 will give me 100%. Then cash as usual, as you did earlier. Last year my cash balance was 20,000. This year my cash balance is 8,000. It's gone down. Okay, so since it is going down or reducing, therefore you get the difference again and write a minus symbol before that. That's it. Nothing difference. Okay, then again as you did earlier, 12,000 by 20,000 into 100. How much is it? It is 60%. And even the percentage column you write minus. Okay, with the decrease you write everything in minus. Before that you write symbol minus. With the increase you write before that a symbol plus. That's it. The same you do for fixed assets. Land and building was earlier it was 80,000. Now it has become 74. There's a decrease in land and building. How much it is a decrease? 6,000. 6,000 divided by 80,000 into 100. It is minus 7.5. Okay. So I know my current assets. I know my fixed assets. Okay. The total and add them together. A and B together will give me 2,60,000. Then for 2,000 it is 1,48,000 plus 1,56,000. It is 3,04,000. Again, the column now you wrote in the row wise. 2,60,000 is the last year total. Current year total is 3,04,000. What is the difference now? 44,000. As you did earlier, 44,000 divided by 2,60,000 into 100 will give me 16.92 for your assets. Since I don't have enough space here, I've done the liabilities in the next slide. We'll go to the next slide now. Now, here the liabilities of the same sum, only the liabilities here. The liabilities also are categorized in a different way. I'll select all my current assets first, current liabilities first, then long-term borrowing, then my capital and reserves, that is shareholders fund. It's called as shareholders fund, capital and reserve. Okay, the same way the first 3 columns is nothing but the repetition of the sum in a fixed format. I pulled out all the current liabilities and written in one column or one row. Then I wrote all my long-term liabilities in second row. Then my capital and reserves in the third row. Okay, I made the total first separately for each and everything. The first thing for total of current liability means there is first one. My current liability was 50,000 in 19. That is 100 creditors. My 100 creditors is 50,000 in 1999. It went up to 70,000 by the year 2000. Okay, what is the difference? What is the increase here? 20,000. Therefore, 20,000 by 50,000 and 100. It is nothing but 40%. Is it clear? So everything you do that way. For even the total of current asset. Last year my total of current asset is 60,000. Current it is 85,000. It is increased by 25,000. Therefore 25,000 by 60,000 into 100. 41.67. Okay. The same way my long-term liabilities. Last year it was 80,000. Now it has become 90,000. What is the increase here? 10,000. 10,000 by 80,000 in 100, 12.5. Okay. Is it clear? The same way my capital and reserves I'll do separately as well as the total wise also. The shareholders fund is last year my shareholders fund is the total of equity and retained earning is 1,20,000. The current year is 1,29,000. What is the increase here? 9,000. So 9,000 by 1,20,000 into 100, 7.5. Okay. Finally, I'm making the total of all the three A, B, C. A is 60, B is 80, C is 120. When I add the total of all the three, A plus B plus C, my total is 2,60,000. The same way for 92,000, my total is 3,04,000. Last year it was 2,60,000, this year it is 3,04,000. What is the difference? Same 44 as you saw in the assets. Okay, because the asset and liabilities will not differ. The total should not differ for asset and liabilities. Am I right? So whatever the percentage we got for assets, the same percentage you should get for liabilities as well. There cannot be any difference in percentage when you do a balance sheet. Okay, you remember, if you remember, you will easily understand. The last slide we did only the assets and the final percentage is 16.92. Now we are in this slide we did only the liabilities. Again the final percentage is 16.92. The same percentage you should get. There should not be any difference in. If you're going to do a balance sheet for asset and liabilities together, whatever the percentage you get in the last for assets, the same percentage you should get for the liabilities as well. Okay, so this is all about your comparative balance sheet. The first sum says comparative income statement. Now we are going to do we did comparative balance sheet. Now next we'll see the second subdivision. Under that you have first one first in the next slide. Next we'll see the sum is you are given trading and P&L account for 2 years, 1998 and 1999. Okay, and what you are asked to do here, you are asked to prepare income common size income statement. Common size. We did comparative for two. We did two comparative statement. One is comparative income statement and comparative balance sheet. The same way we are going to do comparative common size income statement and common size balance sheet. Okay, so this is all about the sum. It is given in a trading and P&L together. Okay, now we are going to do in a vertical form again as we did in the first case. That we'll see in the next slide. Okay, now common size income statement. I wrote the sales first. The first here it is not a comparative. Make sure you are not going to compare anything here. We are doing the common size statement. Okay, which means here we'll take one item as common for all the item, which will represent all the items. Here I'm going to take sales. Okay, I'll repeat again. Previous two sums we did the comparison because it is named as comparative income statement and comparative balance sheet. Now it is common size income statement and common size balance sheet. Is it clear? It is only common size, which means we are not going to compare anything over here. We are going to do them separately. I'll do my amount and percentage separately for 99, 98 and 99 separately. Okay, look here now. Now, as I did earlier, I'm going to take sales minus cost of goods sold as gross profit, my operating expenses, then operating profit, then non-operating income is given here. Again, if it is income, you'll add. If it is an expense, you will minus. That you already know. It is basic logic. Okay. If it is a profit, you'll add. If it is an expense, you'll minus. So sales minus cost of goods sold is gross profit. Then operating expense, I'm going to minus from gross profit. I'll get operating profit. Okay. Gross profit is total A. Operating expense is total B. A minus B will give me operating profit. Then non-operating income. Okay, it is an income. It is not an expense. Non-operating expense is not an expense. It is an income. Therefore, I'll add it to the operating profit. That is, operating profit is 1,10,000 for 1998. My non-operating income is 20,000 for 1998. So 1,10,000 plus 20,000 will give me 1,30,000. That is the total income for my 1998. That I wrote it as D. Okay. Now, I told you we are not going to compare. Again and again, I'm saying it is not a comparative. It is a common size. Here, I'm going to take sales as a common item. Sales as a common item. I'll divide everything divided by sales. I'll get a percentage. For example, 4 lakh by 4 lakh into 100. It will be 100 again. Then cost of sales, 2 lakh 40 by 4 lakh into 100. 60%. Then 1 lakh 60 by 4 lakh into 100. 40%. Then 25,000 by 4 lakh into 100. 6.25%. Then 15,000 by 4 lakh into 100. 3.75%. Then 10,000, that is my distribution expenses. 10,000 by 4 lakh into 100, 2.5%. Again, the total of operating expenses, that is 25, 15, 10 will give me 50,000. Now I'll repeat again. 50,000 divided by 4 lakh into 100, 12.5%. Okay, the same thing now. A minus B will give me operating profit, that is 1,10,000. Again, I'll repeat the same. 1,10,000 divided by 4 lakh into 100, 27.5%. Then income, 20,000 by 4 lakh into 100, 5%. Then the total again, that is operating profit C minus D. So C plus my interest on investment, 20,000, will give me 1,30,000. That is the total income. Okay, the same you do for 1999 separately again. I'll explain at least 3 lines now here for 1999. Here in 1999, the sales is 5 lakh. Okay, I'm repeating again. The sales for 1999 is 5 lakh, and I'll make sure in my mind that I'm doing only common size, not comparative. Okay. Okay. What is the difference between common size and comparative? Common size, you do them separately, 2 different years. For comparative, you compare and do them in one line. Okay. Now, 5 lakh is a common. 5 lakh by 5 lakh into 100. Okay. Then 3 lakh 50 by 5 lakh into 100, 70%. Then 1 lakh 50 divided by 5 lakh into 100, 30%. Then 30,000. 30,000 nothing but administrative expenses. For 1999, 30,000 by 5 lakh into 100, 6%. Then selling expenses for 1999, 20,000 by 5 lakh into 100, 4%. Then distribution expenses, 10,000 by 5 lakh into 100, 2%. Okay, so these are the way you do the common size income statement. Okay, so I've got the total income here as a D, named as D. For the year 1998, I got 32.5%. For the year 1999, I had 28%. Then in the next slide, I've written the non-operating expenses. So from the D, I'll minus the non-operating expenses. I'll get the net profit. We'll go to the next slide now. I will just continue to the next slide. Okay, I'll repeat the same amount which is written in the last line: 1,30,000, 32.5, 140, and 28. I'll repeat from there only. I'll start the sum. Okay, in the next slide. Now 1,30,000, 32.5, 140, 28. Now non-operating expenses. There are 2 non-operating expenses here. Finance expenses, goodwill written off. Finance expenses 20,000. 20,000 by 4 lakh into 100. Then 10,000 by 4 lakh into 100. Then total of non-operating expenses 30,000. 30,000 by 4 lakh into 100. My net profit is 1 lakh. That is 1,30,000 minus 30. That is D minus E will give me net profit. Total D minus total E will give me net profit 1 lakh. So again 1 lakh by 5 lakh, sorry, 1 lakh by 4 lakh into 100, that is 25%. The same way you do for 1999 also. So this is all about your comparative, sorry, it is not comparative. I'll repeat, it is not a comparative, it is nothing but common size income statement. Okay. The next thing we'll see in the next class. Thank you.